what's up everybody out there in Learning Land? Tyler from 10thumbspro.com, and today we're talking the electric guitar. Now this lesson is specifically designed for someone that's been playing acoustic guitar for a while. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some examples of something that you may play on the acoustic guitar, and we're going to talk about how you should play it on the electric guitar. New guitar tutorials every single Monday, so make sure you hit subscribe and ring that bell because we would love to help you on your acoustic or your electric guitar. Printable tab for this lesson and all our guitar lessons by becoming a Patreon. You can just click up in the notes up here. But if you came just because you're ready to plug in, turn up, that's cool. I dig and I respect it. Why don't you go ahead and grab your guitar? Electric guitar, that is, because that's what we're playing today. Brain and attention span. And having said that, even if you have an acoustic guitar and you're planning on buying an electric guitar in the future, this lesson will be applicable and you can still apply some things to playing with the band. Okay, so you got guitar, brain, attention span. Why don't you follow me on in and let's break this lesson down right now. Come on in. Okay, so the very first thing I want to talk about is chords. Let's say you're a guitar player and you wrote a song and your chord progression is going to go D, G, A, D. And let's say on your acoustic guitar, maybe you do something like this. Which on the acoustic guitar is going to sound great. You can harmonize your voice with it. You can get some mutes going. And it's going to sound great. But those open cowboy chords on the, like a 6-string chord on the electric guitar sounds a little bit muddy, especially when you're recording it. So what you got to realize right away with an electric guitar is you can do the same with less. So what we're going to do is change our D chord. This is especially true if you are playing with a band, to a D power chord. 5, 7, 7. And you can even play just this 5th fret of the A string and the 7th fret of the D string, as opposed to, okay, now, how did I know this is where my D power chord was? Well, this is a pretty easy formula. This is a D note. A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D. And then you just go drop down a string from there and over 2 frets. So this is a D power chord, E, C power chord on the 3rd fret, and that formula works on your E string too. Meaning we need a G power chord, pointer finger 3rd fret of the E string, E, F, F sharp, G, and then our ring finger on the 5th, because it's down a string and up 2 frets. To make that an A power chord, G, G sharp, A, here's an A. So we've taken our cowboy chords. Cowboy song, I ride a horse and I sing along. And we made alright, essentially the same thing. Now, a fair warning, a power chord removes the 3rd interval. So you take a D major, and a D major is a D, F sharp, and an A note. Well, the D power chord removes the F sharp. Now, that's one way to change our chords. But you say, Tyler, I don't want power chords. I want that full major tonality. Well, this is where a concept called caged comes into play. Every single chord, C, A, G, E, and D, hence caged, C-A-G-E-D, right? Nothing too fancy, is movable. All of these shapes are movable. So if we look at our E shape, for example, we can bar the 5th fret. We can make, based on that same shape, 5, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5, an A major. So in our chord progression, we saw this A major. So now we get something maybe like, cool, right? But that A major shape, because it's movable, can also be a G shape. Same thing. We just find the root and plug in that same shape. So our D progression has now become D power chord, G major, A major, and back to D. Well, what if we want this to be a D major? A shape, 5th fret, 7, 7, 7, 7, and we get a D. So our original chord progression, Gee, Mini Christmas, our original chord progression, power chords, and bar chords. Okay, now, you don't need to play, when you play the power chord, these are triads, which means they're 3-note chords. So you don't need to play 6 strings to get 3 chords. We can do the exact same chord progression by just cutting the heads off these. So let's say I have a bass player that's really rocking. I don't need these low notes, we just need the higher end of this frequency. When you're playing with a band, especially you're an acoustic guitar, you're probably used to thinking of all the responsibility is yours. You're the drummer, you're the bass player, you're the singer, so everything, you gotta do everything. You gotta create the rhythm, you gotta create the bass, you gotta create the high end. But the minute you have a bass player doing that, then you're free to really just add to it, embellish it, make it bigger, but you don't want to step on anyone's toes. So we take that D shape that we did, for example. Well, check this out. We can also make a D by playing 7, 7, 5. And this is just the bottom 3 notes of that same shape. Our G chord, 4, 3, 3, the bottom 3 strings of this shape, making our A chord the bottom 6, 5, 5, the bottom 3 as well. So there we go. Now, having said that, you're in a band, you're playing with the band. You don't need to strum like you're used to on acoustic guitar either. You're probably used to keeping that hand in constant motion. But let's say you got a band going. Beatbox. One thing that you can do is bring the strum out. You can do strums on the first beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finger pick, something really basic. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 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 Okay, now this also works not only with the highest strings, but you can take these shapes and really play 3 out of any of them. So if I take this D shape again, I can play just 7, 7, 7. And then you'll start to see some overlap between the scales. And the chord shapes as well, which is really cool. If you're playing an A minor pentatonic scale, look for an A minor chord. You're playing, so that's another idea too, so you can see these little triads. It's really common. Let's think of a song like Beast of Burden. There's a lot going on in there. It's going from a B to an E chord. But instead of going something like, which is super big and muddy, what we've done is we've taken this B chord here and played just 3 notes of it, taking this B shape from our E chord, and we're playing 9, 8, 7. That's a B major as well. meaning this is an A major, G major, C major, D major. Jimi Hendrix made frequent use of these tiny little triads. So that's a B. Remember our E shape here, root here, 7, 9, 9, 9. Well, we can just play 9, 9, 9. We get an E. So instead of, we get, which sounds much better in the context because you got to think about every single instrument, voice, everything occupies a certain frequency. Your bass is on the low end, your voice is in the middle, and a lot of times your guitar is going to be responsible for the high end. So you don't want to step on the toes of your bass player or your singer by drowning them out and staying in their range. That's where these other cool little triad shapes come in handy, okay? All right, so essentially that was just a really quick overview of all the things that you should be aware of when you are going from an acoustic guitar to an electric guitar. I have lessons about each of these concepts individually that you can check the notes on or the links below. Just be aware. Look for chords in different shapes. Study the cage system. C, A, G, E, D. Remember, you have 6 strings, but a triad only has 3 notes. And important, listen to the band. Your drummer is the rhythm. Your bass is the bridge from the drum to the guitar. So you are listening to the groove of the bass and the drums and trying to add to that. Not step on their toes, but you're really trying to fit in with that. And always leave space for your singer, okay? All right, everybody, have a lovely day. Life's good, friends. Cool, everybody. So that was it. 10thumbspro.com. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. New guitar every single Monday. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell. Never miss a lesson. Think about becoming a Patreon. It will accelerate your learning. Starts at just $1 a month. Tabs for every single lesson. And Skype lessons one-on-one if you're interested. And until next time, just have a lovely day. And remember, turn it up, jam it. Rock and roll, folks. Take care of yourselves. All good.